Hello and hi, welcome to smartiq classes. This is Venkatesh B. Patil. Today we are going to discuss in Indian polity, that is chapter called Preamble. The chapter called Preamble. Okay. So what are the agenda for today discussion? That is why Indian Constitution need Preamble, and next is what is Preamble is all about. What are the ingredients of Preamble? Source of the Preamble. Preamble is in constitutional or not? Means Preamble is a constitutional or non-constitutional. And last one is Preamble can be amended or not. So these are the issues today we will discuss in very detailed manner. So first you have to look at the why need preamble for the Indian Constitution. Okay, what is all about the preamble? The Constitution of India is a fundamental law of the land. Okay, the Constitution of India is a fundamental law of the land. It is socio-economic and political instrument with a revolutionary domain. Once again, the Constitution of India is a fundamental law of the land. It is a socio-economic political instrument with a revolutionary domain. Every constitution in the world outshines with a preamble, and so the Indian Constitution is also commences with a preamble which reflects the ideals, aspirations, expectations and objectivity of the people of India. So very important. Okay, why need preamble? Every constitution in the world outshines the preamble, and so the Indian Constitution also commences with preamble which reflects the ideals, aspirations and expectations and objectivity of the people of India. The preamble contains aim and objectives of the Indian Republic and enshrines the whole philosophy and legislative intent of the Indian Constitution is in a nutshell. Okay, some of the constitutional expert and political analyst, that is N.A. Palkhiwala. He says that Indian Constitution is the identity card of the Indian Constitution. Identity card of the Indian Constitution. Preamble is also called the identity card of the Indian Constitution. He says by, that is the political analyst, the N.A. Palkhiwala. And it is a preface of the Indian Constitution. It is also called the introduction of the Indian Constitution. It is a preface of the Indian Constitution. It is also called introduction of the Indian Constitution. So basically, in the world, the preamble was first adopted by the American Constitution. The preamble was the first adopted by the country, that is called USA. That is Indian framers of the Indian Constitution. There is a drafting of so borrow from the same method in the Indian Constitution is also. Okay, no reading of any country can be complete without, means no reading of any constitution can be amended so complete without reading the preamble. That is, preamble is very important for the every written constitution, every reading constitution. That's the reason it's very important for all constitutions in the world, including Indian Constitution. It acts as a theme around which the legislation revolves. Okay, it's a theme for the legislative revolves. The next is why preamble is need for the Indian Constitution. What is the importance for the preamble in the Indian Constitution? Okay, so what are the ideas given by the preamble to the Indian Constitution? It is a source of the Constitution. What are the sources for the Indian Constitution? It talks about the preamble. What is the nature of the Indian Constitution? It talks about by the preamble. What are the statements and its objectives are there in the Indian Constitution? It tells by the preamble. The date of its adaptation is also mentioned in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. These are the important ingredients. Okay, ingredients of the Indian Constitution. Once again, I will repeat. That is source of the Constitution, the nature of the Indian state, what is the nature of the Indian state, and what statements of its objectives are there in the Indian Constitution, and also what when was it is adopted by the Indian Constitution, that is preamble. These are the ingredients of the preamble. Okay, ingredients of the preamble. So next is the legislative intent of the preamble of the constitution is based on the open-minded perseverance. Okay, drafted, and it is also called the objective resolution. It's an old document in Indian before writing the Indian constitution, that is, it is called the objective resolution. Okay, this is a draft and moved and drafted by the Pandit Nehru and adopted by the Constituent Assembly, that is on 26th November 1949. It's very important for PT. It is before that, before it is a preamble, it is also called the objective resolution. This is a draft moved and adopted by the Pandit Nehru and adopted by the Constituent Assembly in November 26, 1949. What are the original context of the Indian Constitution? That is original text of the preamble. What is the original text of the preamble? The opening lines of the preamble of Indian Constitution talks about, we, the people of India, having a solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice for social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, very important for PT, 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and to give to ourselves this constitution. This is the original text of the preamble of Indian Constitution. I will read once again because of it's very important. With the people of India having a solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic, and to secure all its citizens justice for social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and to give to ourselves this constitution. This is the original text or context of the preamble. So thus analyzing the key aspects of the preamble. In the preamble, there are a number of aspects, key aspects are there in the preamble. It can be divided into three parts. Okay, the key aspects of the preambles are there in a number of points are there. That is key aspects, that is divided into three parts. By reference to that is it is a qualitative characteristics. The preamble is a declarative character. The first one is declarative character. What is meant by declarative character is all about. The declarative character has to be enactment of the preamble of the constitution. What is the enactment of the preamble of the constitution? That is the people of India in their Constituent Assembly. Okay, Constituent Assembly adopted, enacted and give to themselves this constitution. Means the Constituent Assembly declared, okay, adopted, enacted, give to themselves, means the people of India, to the constitution. That is a declaratory characteristics. Next characteristic is the revolutionary character. Okay, the next second character is revolutionary character. Revolutionary character, in the revolutionary character, in the sense of the legislative intent of the preamble, that is whereby the people of India solemnly resolve to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic to all and to secure all its citizens. That is a revolutionary characteristics of the preamble. And last and third one is the informative character. Informative character. In informative character has to the source of the preamble. Okay, who are the sources of the Indian preamble? That is with the people of India. That is with the people of India. This is the informative characteristics of the preamble of Indian Constitution. These are the three important qualitative characteristics, that is declaratory, revolutionary characteristics, and third one and last one is called informative characteristics. The preamble provides legislative intent of India to be a welfare state. Okay, welfare state means welfare of the people, welfare of the society. That is called welfare state. The terminology of the preamble enshrines the fundamental values and guiding principles which forms a base for the Constitution of India. Okay, it is a intent provides for the legislative to the government of India or the state government. It is the guiding principle or fundamental values to the Constitution of India. It provides legislative intent of India to be a welfare state. Okay, welfare of the people, welfare of the community, welfare of the society, overall welfare of the state. So main objectives of the preamble is the welfare of the state, welfare of the society, welfare of the community, and etc. The preamble serves as a pathfinder of the Constitution. Very important. Okay, the preamble serves as a pathfinder of the Indian Constitution and judges the interprets the ideology of the provisions of the Constitution in its light. So very important. Okay, to interpret the ideology of the provisions of the Constitution in its light. The next is the Constitution of India stands like a tree, which preamble is a root, stem, and source. Okay, it's giving example. The Constitution of India is a tree, but preamble is a root, stem, and source of the sources for the Constitution. That is called preamble is a source, root, and stem of the that is a tree-like Constitution. The keywords of the preamble are as follows, which expand the origin of the Constitution of India. So next, the first keyword is, these are the important keywords or keywords of the Indian Constitution. Okay, the next is keywords of the Indian Constitution. The first one is sovereign. So ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವ. What is meant by the sovereign is all about. So you have to see, before going to the term, you have to see the one of the important case, that is in synthetics and chemicals limited versus the state of Uttar Pradesh. The case in synthetics and chemicals limited versus the state of Uttar Pradesh. Honorable the Supreme Court of India observed that the word sovereign means that the state has the power to legislate on any subject in conformity with constitutional limitations. It means supreme or independence. Means for example, take India is a country. Okay, for example, in 1947 means 46 after 1947. Okay, this is before the 1946 or after the 1947. Before the 1947, India becomes it is not a sovereign state. It is working under the British government. Any law can make by the in government of India that can take the permission for the eligible England like eligible Queen Elizabeth. But after the 1947, India becomes a sovereign state. Sovereign means it is an independence. It is a sovereignty, supremacy of the to making laws internally as well as externally. So therefore, two kinds of sovereignty is there. I will say that is a internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. There are two kinds of the sovereignty. One is internal sovereignty and another one is the external sovereignty. Andre ಆಂತರಿಕ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So being internally, what is meant by internally sovereignty? So being an internal sovereign refers to having a free government which is directly elected by the people, which makes laws that govern the people. There is no restrictions are there. Okay, for example, can make any new state or old state, new state or change the state. That is called, that is the internal sovereignty is there. So what is external sovereignty? The external sovereignty means free from the control of any foreign power or compliances. All the people are free in their limit to do their work in their own opinion. For example, take example here, India is there, Australia is there. So India can make any agreement with Australia. There is no restrictions are there. That is called, that is the external sovereignty. For example, take Karnataka is there. So Indian government can make any laws related to the state of the Karnataka. This is the internal sovereignty. There is no restrictions are there. There is no external force acts on the these to making the laws. That is called sovereignty. So next keyword is the socialist. Okay, so originally the Constitution of India is not originally the preamble is not there in the word socialist. It is handed through the word socialist handed through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು 42ನೇ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ 1976 42ನೇ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಲಾಗಿರುತ್ತು. ಈ ಒಂದು ಬಂದದ್ದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂದರೆ ತುರ್ತು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ದ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ character of the Indian Constitution is emphasized in the preamble, which spells out the aspiration of the people to secure to all its citizens, that is social, economic and political justice. Very important. The socialist characteristic of the Indian Constitution is emphasized in the citizens, emphasized in the preamble, which spells out the aspiration of the people to secure to all its citizens through social, economic and political justice. So basically in economy we have to discuss, that is there are three kinds of economies there. One is socialist economy, so another one is capitalist economy, and third one is the mixed economy. Okay, there are three kinds of economical system practiced in the world, that is called socialist economic system. The second one is capitalist economic system, and third one is the mixed economic system. So what is all about the socialist economic system? In socialist economical system, it is to focus only for the welfare of the state, welfare of the society, welfare of the society, welfare of the society. Okay, welfare of the society means here the public or peoples are important. This is also called the public economy. Okay, it is here the peoples or community is more important. Here there is no profit is there, only welfare of the people, welfare of the society, welfare of the state. In the capitalist economy is also called the private economy. Okay, the socialist economy is also called the public economy, but in the capitalist economy is also called the private economy. Here in capitalist economic system there is a more important only given for the make profits, whatever it may be, the state whatever it may be, but peoples are getting profits or profits, make profit. Here profit is very important for in capitalist economy. Okay, in socialist economy follows Russia is follows the socialist economic system, America follows the USA follows the capital economic system. In capitalist economy most of the manufacturing and production is there in the hands of the businessmen, entrepreneurs, in the some rich peoples, the hands of the rich peoples. So what is all about in the mixed economy? Mixed economy is nothing but is a blending of the both socialist as well as capitalist economy. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾಲೋಸ್ ದ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫಾಲೋಸ್ ದ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾರತವು ಮಿಶ್ರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ to follow the mixed economic system of the system. So that's the reason the socialist nothing but is the welfare of the state. Here whatever it make laws, rules, regulation for the welfare of the state. That's the reason it's very important for the as a democratic country like India. Okay, so here it implies social economic equality. Okay, the socialist talks about it is social as well as economic equality, having a standards of being a socially equal means and the absence of inequality. In the socialist economy, the most of the things are in the the distribution of resources in the equal manner. There is no inequality there in the socialist economy on the grounds of the caste, creed, sex, color, religion, language or place of birth. In distribution of the resources, the government or the organizations cannot see on the grounds of caste, creed, sex, color, religion, language or place of birth. All are equal. There is no discrimination in the socialist economy, socialistic in a pattern of the nature. It means everyone has the equal status, has equal access to the opportunities. There is no discrimination. Equal access to the all opportunity, all peoples. There is no including the any discrimination. Okay, opportunities. Economic stability means that equal distribution of wealth, which leads to decent standard of living for all. Okay. So the next concept is secular concept. So very important for your both PT as well as mains nowadays. Okay, so very important for both PT preliminary examination as well as mains examination, because of nowadays you know that in the country like the communal violence will be there. Okay, basically the word secular is not there in the original constitution. It is also added through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 during the period of emergency. Okay, ಅಂದರೆ ಮೂಲವಾಗಿ ಈ ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತ ಮೂಲತಃವಾಗಿ ಈ ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪದವನ್ನು ಮೂಲ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಂದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನು 42ನೇ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ 1976 ಮತ್ತು ತುರ್ತು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪದವನ್ನು ಭಾರತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಸಲಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. The Constitution of India, what is secular is all about? Okay, the Constitution of India stands a secular state. Okay, the state has no official religion. So basically you know that there are theosophical state, secular state, theosophical state, secular state, and aesthetic state. Okay, in a democratic country or some other countries, India world follows that there are three kinds of states are there: the theosophical state, secular state, aesthetic state. What is meant by theosophical state? In theosophical state, the state follows one particular religion as a state religion, one particular religion as a state religion. Once again, in theosophical society, the state follows one particular religion as a state religion. State religion. For example, for the theosophical state is, okay, Pakistan is a Islamic state, that is follow the only one religion. Nepal is a Buddhist country. Okay, for etc. This is the example for Pak and Nepal is the example for the theosophical state. In secular state, otherwise before going to this, take aesthetic state. In aesthetic state, the state cannot follow any religion. Okay, the state cannot follow the any religion. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಅಸ್ಥೆಟಿಕ್ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸ್ಟೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಯಾವೊಂದು ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಸ್ಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ರಷ್ಯಾ ಈಸ್ ಎ aesthetic state. Russia cannot follow any religion. Albania is a aesthetic state. These are the example for the aesthetic state. And third one is the secular state. So very important. Secular state is nothing but the state give respect to all religions as an equal status. Okay, here see that the state has no official religion. Okay, the state has no official religion. The concept of secularism expands its origins to give full opportunity to profess, practice and propagate the religion of their choice. For example, you go to most of the Western countries, it follows the like theosophical state. That is the major, most of the Western countries follows the Christianity. But India, you can follow any religion. That's the reason. That is, you can the citizen of India can profess, practice and propagate the religion of their choice. Okay, not by the government choice, by the personal choice, first individual choice. The Constitution, along with providing guarantee to persons freedom of choice, is religion. Okay, there is no restrictions are there. Anybody can choose any religion, and conscience also ensures freedom who has no religion and restrains the state from making any discrimination on grounds of the religion. There is no discrimination on the any religion in the country like India, but you go to most of the Western countries, there is a discrimination. Anybody can follow the Christianity, the good responsibility is there, good honesty is there, the good popularity is there, but you can follow the other religions like Hindu, Buddhism in Western countries. There is a lot of discrimination is there. For example, you look at the South Africa. Okay, South Africa is there. Okay, there is a black and white discrimination is there. That is one type of discrimination. So next is the most important components of the secularism. Okay, we will discuss in very detailed manner because of very important for your PT as well as. That's the reason I will take more discussion on this key point, that is called secularism and mains examination. So we have to focus this keyword is very important. So where constitution discuss about the secularism or equality in the Indian constitution. Okay, Article 14 talks about equality before law, equal protection of land, equality before law. That is also related to the, there is no caste is there. Anybody in every Indian citizen have equality is there. There is no discrimination is there. Okay, so and also Article 15 and 16 also talks about there is no prohibition against the discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth is incorporated in the Article 15 and 16. And also Article 19 and 21. Article 19 talks about the right to freedom of speech, and also Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty. And next is Article 25 to 28 talks about there is a right to freedom of religion. Okay, very important. Right to practice or right to freedom of religion. Right to practice religion as a conferred under the Article 25 to 28 into the fundamental rights. It is mentioned under the Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, Article 12 to 35. I'll discuss in these fundamental rights in the separate chapter called fundamental rights. Okay, so next is fundamental duty of the state enact uniform civil laws. Okay, actually it is not a fundamental duty, it is under the directive principle of state policy. Sorry for mistake. Okay, it is not a fundamental duty, it is under the directive principle of state policy. Article 44 talks about the uniform civil code. Okay, in last is very important current affairs topic, that is uniform civil code. I will great detail discuss in the topic called directive principle of state policy, that is UCC, universal civil code. Okay, so next is sentiment of the majority of the people towards cow and against its slaughter as included in the Article 48. Okay, in last year it's very, especially the BJP-led government talks about the banning of the cow slaughter. Okay, that is eating of the beefs, that is talks about the Article 48. Here also there is no discrimination on this one, and it's very important for your both PT as well as mains. SR Bommai versus Union of India, a case in the Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court of India held that secularism is the basic structure or feature of the Indian Constitution. Very important. In SR Bommai versus Union of India case, Honorable Supreme Court of India declared that the secularism is the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Okay, what is meant by basic structure? Anybody? So please write in your comment box. Basic structure. Basic structure is mentioned in the Constitution or not? So okay, the basic structure is not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. It is the initiative of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Okay, so what are the basic structures are decided by the Supreme Court of India only. Okay, that's the reason the secularism is the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. It is the basic structure of the Constitution came from the Keshavanandi Bharati case in the 1973. Okay, I'll discuss in later. Next, the concept of secularism, to put it in a nutshell, is that state have no religion observed, that is Bal Patil versus Union of India case. Okay, these are the two important cases related to the secularism. You have to mention in the mains answer writing. Okay, your answer should be very attractive. So next keyword is democratic. Okay, democratic. What is meant by democratic? Okay, so the word democratic is taken from the word Greek word that is called demos and kratos. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಎನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪದವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಡೆಮೋಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ರೇಟಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಎರಡು ಪದಗಳಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಮೋಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಡೆಮೋಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಾಟೋಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ರೂಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್. Once again, the word democratic is taken from the Greek word demos and kratia. That is, demos means people and kratia means authority. The opening lines of the preamble talks about with the people of India. Okay, with the people of India, and the concluding lines gives to ourselves this constitution. Means the preamble or constitution is dedicated to the people of India. Means the main authority of the Indian constitution is the people of India. That's called we are the people of India, and give to ourselves this constitution. This constitution portrays the democratic spirit involved in the constitution. The people of India elect their government as well at levels called union, state and local. Local system, that is one man one vote, that is election system. In a democracy, okay, in a democracy there are two kinds of democratic countries there in the world. That is called democracy. That is two types of democracy are there in the world. That is called direct democracy and indirect democracy. Once again, most of the world democratic countries to follow the direct democracy and indirect democracy. What is all about the direct democracy? In direct democracy, the people can exercise their power directly. Means ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ನೇರವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ರಾಜ್ಯಭಾರವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಿಟ್ಜರ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ವಿಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ರೂ the 4 important tools are there. That is called, follow the, just for reference, referendum, initiative, recall and plebiscite. These are the 4 important tools to use the indirect democracy. And next is indirect democracy, ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಮತ್ತು ಪರೋಕ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. In indirect democracy, most of the rules and regulations are made by the representatives. Okay, in indirect democracy, the peoples are elected by the representatives. The representative makes laws and rules of the country. That is called, it is an indirect democracy. In indirect democracy, again there are 2 kinds. That is called the presidential indirect democracy and parliamentary indirect democracy. Okay, in presidential indirect democracy and parliamentary indirect democracy. What is all about the presidential form of indirect democracy? In parliamentary form of democracy, before going to this concept, you have to understand that in government, you know that already, in government there are 3 important organs are there. That is called legislative, executive and judicial. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ 3 ಅಂಗಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಒಂದು ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ, ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ. ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್? Legislative is main work is to making a laws. Okay, making law. Legislative is the main work is to making the laws for the country or the state. What is the work for the executive? executive to implement the laws made by the legislators, okay, and judiciary, it is to check or to interpret the Constitution of India, to check the laws made by the legislative, okay, that is the main work of the judiciary. In legislative, executive and judiciary, in presidential form of government, there is a separation of powers between the legislative and executive, ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದು ಅಂದರೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಯ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಎರಡು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ತಮಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧವಿಲ್ಲದಂತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕೋಆಪರೇಷನ್, ಕೊಲಾಬರೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಅಂಟಿಕೊಂಡಂತೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೋಆಪರೇಷನ್, ಸಹಕಾರದಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತವೆ. ಇದು ಮೇನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾಲೋಸ್ ಬೈ ದಿ American Constitution. Okay, most of the American Constitution follows the presidential form of government. The parliamentary form of government is also called the Britain pattern of the Constitution. So ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ India follows the parliamentary form of government. India is also follow the parliamentary form of indirect democracy. India follows, once again, India, so very important for repeating, India follows parliamentary form of indirect democracy. Okay, indirect democracy. So very important for repeating. Okay. So next important keyword is republic. ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ you know that once again most of the democratic country to follow there are two kinds of system. One is called republic, so another one is called monarch. So what is meant by republic? Okay, what is meant by monarch? In monarch practice, monarch system of the government, here head of state is hereditary. Okay, the head of the state is hereditary. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ವಂಶ ಪಾರಂಪರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವೀನ್ ಎಲಿಜಬೆತ್. Okay, that is take for example Nepal is also like monarchy. King system is there, that is called monarchy. Means the head of the state is hereditary nature, that is called monarchy. For example, the Britain Constitution, that is a monarchical constitution, that is Queen Elizabeth is the head of the state. In republican democratic system, the head of the state is elected. Here the head of the state is elected. Okay, for example, take in India's head means the president is elected by elected director, and director is not a matter, but the head of the state should be elected for a fixed term. For example, take Ramnath Kovind, our president of India, Ramnath Kovind. Okay, elected indirectly means through representatives for fixed term of 5 years. This is the republican country. Okay, the word republic derived from the res publica. It's very important for repeating. Okay, the word republic is derived from the res publica, which means public property or commonwealth. Okay, it means republica means public property or commonwealth. The republic means the form of government in which the head of the state is elected person and not a hereditary. Hereditary is there, that is called monarchical system. Okay, not a hereditary, that is like monarchy, the king or the queen of, that is in Great Britain. Being a republic means the vesting of the political sovereignty in the people. Election of the head of the state is done by the people of the nation for a fixed term. Means in monarchical system, government system, most of the decisions are taken by the king or queen. But in the republican country, like in the country, most of the decisions are taken by the representatives on the what is it is assent or assent of the, that is the peoples, because they are elected by the peoples. Here, that is, republic is most power to the that is what is people's aspirations. So next is 4 objectives of the Indian state, that is mentioned in the in the preamble. What are the 4 objectives? The objective of the preamble can be derived from the 4 keywords mentioned in therein, that is justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Is very important. So there is a 4 objectives of the Indian state is tells by the preamble, that is called justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. In PA Inamdar versus State of Maharashtra case, also very important. What is this? PA Inamdar versus State of Maharashtra case. It is observed that if Indian polity has to be educated and educated with excellence, educated with excellence, it is a well settled principle golden goals set out in preamble of the constitution, that is called equality, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. So first one, you have to look at the justice. So the Kannada Nyaya anteli. Okay, Nyaya. The term justice signifies 3 distinct types of the justice. Already I have explained, that is called, okay, justice, explain the justice. There are 3 kinds. It is social justice, economic justice and the political justice. Okay, the term justice signifies the 3 distinct types of justice, that is social justice, political justice and the economic justice, which is guaranteed through the fundamental rights mentioned in the, okay, the fundamental rights mentioned in the part 3rd of the Indian Constitution, article 12 to 35 and part 4, that is directive principle of state policy of the Indian Constitution. The social justice, what is meant by social justice? Okay, what is social justice? Social justice means the abolition of discrimination on the basis of sex, color, creed, race, religion, place of birth or sex. Okay, there is no discrimination or to providing the socialistic things to the people. That is, there is a abolition of the discrimination on the basis of the sex, race, religion, caste or place of birth, etc. It means the abolition of untouchability. Article 17 talks about in the fundamental rights, that is the abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice. And also it includes improvement in the condition of backward classes, that is especially SCs, scheduled caste, STs, scheduled tribes and OBCs, other backward classes. Okay, recently you know that in the in Modi government, that is in 2019, 103, the Constitution Amendment Act, it is 2019, that is a 10% reservation for the economically backward society or classes for the employment and education in public employment and education. That is a 10% reservation. That also talks about the includes the improvement in the condition of the backward classes, both as well as so basically the original constitution talks about there is a backward classes for educationally and socially. The recently the Modi government in 2019 it says that is also given the reservation for the economically weaker section of the society, means excluding the SC, ST and OBC communities. So next is economic justice. Here mentioned refers to the elimination of glaring inequalities of wealth, income and property. The combination of social justice, economic justice is what known as that is a distributive justice. Okay, here talks about there is a distributive justice in fair manner, in an equality manner, not in the unequal or, for example, rich, if it fails, that is called the richer becomes richer and the poor becomes poor. Recently you know that in the 5% of wealth is there in the 50% of the 50% of wealth is there in the 5% of people and remaining 50% of the wealth is there in the 95% of the people. Okay, so this is the economic inequality economic inequality. That's the reason Indian preamble talks about, that is there is a distributive justice in the very fair and a fair manner, that is called economic justice. The third one is the political justice. The political justice talks about that all citizens should have equal the political rights, equal access to all political offices and equal voices in the government. Okay, so for example, take in Modi government. Okay, Modi is there. Modi is before he is a chayawala. So today becomes the Prime Minister of India. So means anyone can contest elections or getting right to the political rights. That is called the political justice. So next the key point is equality. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಮಾನತೆ, the right without sanction from the authority has no meaning. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಇರದೇ ಹೋದರೆ ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಬೆಲೆ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, the right without sanction from the authority has no meaning. Such right can not be enjoyed by the members of the community. Yes, the legislative intent of the makers of the Indian Constitution was to ensure equality of status and opportunity for all and to provide basis for ultimately establishing the egalitarian society. Okay, this equality means it makes it is a egalitarian society. Egalitarian society means it is an equal society. All are equal. There is no discrimination. Okay. Then equality of status and opportunity as enshrined in the preamble is secured to all. Firstly, by abolition of all kinds of distinctions and biases by the state between the citizens on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex and place of birth, by equal access to open public places. Okay, for example, recent you know that in Shabrimala issue, here there is a gender inequality is there. Okay, gender inequality, that is a Shabrimala issue. Okay, what is Shabrimala issue? The Shabrimala talks about there is a ban on sanctum of sanctorum of the Shabrimala between the ages of 10 to 50 year women. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ 10 ರಿಂದ 50 ವರ್ಷದ ಒಳಗಿನ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಗರ್ಭಗೃಹದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಷೇಧಿಸಲಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಶಬರಿಮಲ ಒಂದು ದೇವಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ equal access to open public places by abolishing the untouchability and titles. Okay, Article 18 talks about the abolition of titles and their practice by securing the equality of opportunity in the employment, public employment sector, appointment to any office under the state. There is no discrimination giving the jobs and public places. That's the reason you have to follow the equality in a very egalitarian. It follows that is egalitarian society. And next is the liberty. So before I discuss it is a word called sovereignty. Okay, the concept called sovereignty or sovereign. Okay, so both are actually there are similar words are there. In sovereignty, the word sovereignty is used as a very large in nature, but it is used in the small, means here whole community, whole country, but here only individual. The liberty is used for individual. Liberty is nothing but it is also independence. Okay, liberty is the most cherished process for man. Means it is used for the individual independence or independence. The preamble of the Constitution proposes to secure the liberty of thought, expression, belief, and faith and worship. Okay, the Constitution of the preamble of the Constitution proposes to secure the liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, worship, and expression. Okay, so these freedoms are guaranteed through the fundamental rights. Okay, Part 3 of the Indian Constitution once again are mentioned in that is fundamental rights enshrined in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, especially right, for example, Article 19 talks about the right to freedom of speech and expression. Okay, residence, movement. So some of the important rights are under the fundamental rights. That is gives to the liberty to the individual or citizen of the country. Liberty is a power of doing what is allowed by law. Very important. The liberty is the power of doing what is allowed by the law. There is no restrictions, only restrictions on the law. Okay, what law made by the law made by the restriction rules and regulations you have to follow within the power of doing what is allowed by the state law. Okay, the constitutional law of the country has fully guaranteed liberty through the mechanisms, judiciary and established rules of justiciability. Liberty does not mean license. Okay, once again, liberty does not mean a license. Okay, it is not a license. It's a free from the external forces for the individual or a citizen of country to what do one likes and has to enjoy it within the limitations mentioned in the Indian Constitution itself. So recently you know that there is a beef eating. Okay, beef eating, cow slaughter, cow slaughtering. Okay, cow slaughtering. These are the to against the liberty of the individual. For example, there is a you know that sedition is there. Okay, seditions. Recently, you know that in Kannaya Kumar case. Okay, Kannaya Kumar is the president of the JNU Student Union. Is arrested by the government of India. That is section 124A under the Sedition Act. That is also to violate the liberty of the individual of the country. The short liberty constituted by the preamble is not okay. You cannot follow. You cannot respect the liberty. The preamble is not an absolute in nature. So next key point is the fraternity. Fraternity nothing but it's the sense of brotherhood. Okay, it's a brotherhood relation. Okay, so andre ಸೋದರತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದನ್ನ. The expression unity and integrity. Okay, the expression unity and integrity of the nation. Actually, originally the unity and integrity of the nation is the word is not there in the preamble, original preamble. It is also added through the 42nd Constitutional Act of 1976 to the preamble of the Constitution. Fraternity means it's the sense of the brotherhood. Okay, so one more point. In 42nd Constitutional Act of 1976, there are three important words added. That is called secular, socialist, and integrity. That is a fraternity. Okay, it's important for PT. That is 42nd Constitutional Act of 1976. There are three important words are added through the preamble. That is secular, socialist, and integrity or fraternity of the, that is unity and integrity of the nation. What is okay? Fraternity means the sense of the brotherhood. It is a feeling that all people are children. All people are children of the same soil, the same motherland. Brotherhood is a particular kind of relation, irrespective of the gender and generation. Means in India, in most of the Indian peoples, you have to live with the brotherhood relations, and also live with the fraternity with the other countries also, like Pakistan, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Pakistan, Bhutan, Pakistan, Myanmar, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Like brotherhood relationship is there. You have to talk about that one. There is gender, there is no discrimination of gender and like male and female. You would also live with the fraternity like nature. Okay, in a country like India, it is necessary to prioritize because India is the multicultural and multi-diversity country. That's the reason the brotherhood means the fraternity is very necessary for the like India, like country like India. Okay, necessary to prioritize the expression of the unity and integrity that can be preserved only by a spirit of brotherhood. And also India is one citizenship. You know that India follows the single citizenship. It means it's a good example of fraternity. For example, you go to America. Okay, United States of America. In United States of America, there are 50 states are there. The 50 states have a separate citizenship. For example, India. Okay. Except Jammu and Kashmir, wherever you go and live, profess, do work, whatever you do in the other states, there is no separate citizenship is necessary. But in America, you go to America, there is a 50. In America, there are 50 states is there. The 50 states have a different citizenship card is there. That's the reason it's very important for India, like India, because India. That's the reason India follows. India preamble talks about the fraternity of the people. Okay, India has one citizenship, and every citizen should feel that okay, feel that he is a India first irrespective of the another basis. That's the reason fraternity is more important for the like India. And next is very important, so please concentrate more on these slides. The preamble is there, it is a part of the constitution or not? Okay, the preamble is a part of the constitution or not? Okay, so please think about, the preamble is a constitutional part or not a constitutional part? Yes. Okay, the preamble is a absolutely yes. Okay, is a constitutional part of the constitution. The preamble is a part of the constitution. A debated topic, preamble whether not of the constitution or not, decided in the two leading cases. Otherwise I will add one more, that is three leading cases. You have to write related to the preamble is a part of the constitution. You must and should mention there are two important cases. The first case is Beerubury Union case in 1960. Okay, Beerubury Union case in 1960. The Constitution of India on the implementation of the Indo-Pak Agreement relating to the Beerubury Union and exchange of enclaves came for the consideration by bench consisting of the 8 judges. Okay, means the Beerubury Union case in 1960, that case is taken by the Supreme Court of India. That is a 8-judge bench. Court is there, a bench is there. The court held that the preamble to the Constitution is a key to open the mind of the framers of the Constitution, but it is not a part of the Indian Constitution. Okay, once again, in Beerubury Union case in 1960, the Supreme Court held that the preamble is not a part of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so again in the after 13 years, the Keshavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala. In the 1973, this judgment is very important for your polity. So please, you have to, whenever you are asking these questions, you are there in the mind. Okay, Keshavananda Bharati case versus the State of Kerala in the 1973. So the Supreme Court rejected the Beerubury Union case opinion and give another explanation. That is, this case created a history. The bench of this is a 13-judge bench justice case assembled and sat in the original jurisdiction hearing the writ petition. It was held that in this case. Okay, in Keshavananda Bharati versus the state of Kerala in the 1973, Supreme Court rejected the earlier. Okay, earlier says that the preamble is not a part of the Indian Constitution, but in the Keshavananda Bharati case, Supreme Court says that preamble is a part of the Indian Constitution. Okay, preamble is a part of the Indian Constitution. Again in the 1995 LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India case, okay, in 1955, the Supreme Court again held that the preamble is a integrated part of the Indian Constitution. Integrated part of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so that's the reason preamble is a part of the Constitution. You have to mention two important cases, that is Beerubury Union case of 1960. In this case, the Supreme Court rejected, it is not a part of the Constitution. In the Keshavananda Bharati case in 1973, the Supreme Court rejected the earlier verdict and says that the preamble is a part of the Indian Constitution. Again in the 1995, the Life Insurance Corporation of India case, the Supreme Court held that the preamble is an integral part of the or basic structure of the Indian Constitution. So next question is arising in your mind: the preamble can be amended or not? Okay, the preamble can be amended or not. It's also very important for your means. Okay, means examination. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದು. Yes, definitely yes. ಇದನ್ನ the preamble can be amended. Okay, you know that already. So Article 368 talks about the Parliament has power to amend the Constitution in the three systems, that is called simple majority, special majority with half of the states ratification. So ಅಂದರೆ 368ನೇ ಅಂದರೆ 368ನೇ ವಿಧಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಂಸತ್ತು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಮೂರು ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ, ಒಂದು ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾದ ಬಹುಮತ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಬಹುಮತ, ಮೂರನೇದಾಗಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ಬಹುಮತ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅರ್ಧದಷ್ಟು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಅನುಮತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. Okay, in 368 article ಮಾತ್ರ ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುತ್ತದೆ. The first one is not necessary for taking 368 as an amendment of the constitution. Okay, only mentioned in the two. I will discuss very detailed one in the amendment of the constitution chapter. Okay, so the constitution of India can be amended without disturbing the basic structure of the constitution. Already explained in the before slides what is basic structure of the constitution. The basic structure of the constitution, the basic structure is not mentioned anywhere in the constitution. It is an initiative of the Supreme Court of India. Okay, as it been held in Keshavanandi Bharati case versus state of Kerala in 1973, at the preamble is a part of the constitution. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವನೆಯು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಭಾಗವಾಗಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It means that the preamble of the constitution can be amended. Okay, very important. Okay, because it is a part of the constitution, that's the reason the parliament can amend the preamble. Though till date it has been amended only once. Okay, that is in 1976. That is during the period of the emergency in the 1976. This amendment is popularly known as the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, commonly known as 42nd Amendment Act of the 1976. This amendment resulted in addition of there are three important words that is called the principles of the enhance the objectivities and ideology of the preamble, that is called the socialist, secular and fraternity or unity and integrity of the nation. Okay, unity and integrity of the nation. The three important words are added to the constitution, that is in 42nd Constitution Amendment Act of 1976. It's so important. So what is the conclusion for the topic of preamble? The preamble is an integral part of the Constitution of India. Okay, that is through the number of cases like Keshavanandi Bharati case and LIC of India case of 1955 talks about the Supreme Court tells about the preamble is the integral part of the Indian Constitution that reflects the legislative intent of makers of the Constitution. Okay, anybody can the legislator, especially the legislator ML and MPs can make the laws. You have to look at the what is there in the preamble, like socialist, secular, democratic, republic. These words are very important for the guidance for the legislators of the India. It assists the broadening the origins of the provisions of the Constitution. It is not a conventional addition, but an addition with the utmost value and importance of polity, which India as a social welfare state strives to establish. Okay, the preamble is a law paramount nature of our country. It's very important also. Then it highlights the values, guiding principles, objectivity on which the Indian Constitution is based. Okay, some very important facts related to the preamble. It's very important for your both prelims, especially PT. Okay, so Prem Bihari Narayan Raijal, okay, is a person has written the following italic style with the beautiful calligraphy of the original constitution is a preamble. Okay, the Prem Bihari Narayan Raijal has written in the following italic style with the beautiful calligraphy of the original preamble of the constitution. Means the draft is moved by the Pandit there, but is written formation was written by that is Prem Bihari Narayan Raijal. It's very important for a PT. The French Revolution. Okay, the French Revolution laid down the foundations of the principles of liberty, equality and fraternity of the preamble. Means these ideas like liberty, equality, fraternity are taken from the French Revolution. Okay, the French Revolution, it's and which also called the French mode ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ the preamble of the Constitution United States of America is also starts with the people of which pursued the preamble of the Constitution. Again, economic justice for economic, political and the social justice. Okay, these ideas are taken from the Russian Revolution. Okay, liberty, equality and fraternity of your ideas are taken from the French Revolution. The economic, political and justice, social are taken from the Russian Revolution. Okay, so this is about okay, today we will discuss the what is preamble, why need preamble, what are the ingredients, important ingredients are there in the preamble, the preamble is amended or not, and preamble is a part of the constitution. These important issues are discussed in very detailed manner. So thank you being with us. So see you next session. Thank you once again. All the best.